One, one, one. Super. Bonjour à tous. Nous sommes à Monaco. Ça, c'est la langue officielle, c'est français. Mais je pense que nous parlons, nous avons beaucoup d'entrevues. Pourquoi nous parlons en anglais. Mais nous sommes prêts pour parler français après. Guten Morgen, meine Damen und Herren. Ich höre Deutsch überall. Also wenn Sie uns danach auf Deutsch ansprechen möchten, wir sind auch vorbereitet und freuen wir uns auf Gespräche auf Deutsch. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So don't worry, we will have this presentation in English. I wanted to make sure that if someone wants to speak to us different language afterwards, we look forward to that as well. So shortly we'll introduce you to what we're going to talk about and us. And I would ask you for a short introduction just to know from what type of organizations you come from, and then we will start. So maybe let's start what we're going to talk about today is we're going to shortly do the solars, and then we'll be looking through two different perspectives, cedents and reinsurer. And we'll be looking about what issues you're facing, and then afterwards about solutions, and those solutions will be from how to manage data, how to manage core systems, and particular solutions in the market. It's going to be pretty practical. Should you have any questions in the meantime, just please ask, all right? And in terms of solars, so we are an international consulting company and system integrator. We are focused solely on insurance, reinsurance, bank insurance. So whenever you have a word assurance, that's what we do. And if you look where we acting, we are in North America, Europe, and then in APAC and Asia. So in Japan, where we have several implementations, and then we have the development center there in Kuala Lumpur. And the focus of us is from business consulting to actual delivery. And those are example of our 100 financial groups that we have privilege of supporting. And those countries which are in green are the countries where we have local presence understanding. Those on white, those are countries where we support our customers, but we don't have local presence yet. Then afterwards, this is a bit fact about solars. We're not huge because we don't make a monster project, so it's like over 1,000 solars. Well, we're very truly international, so that's why we have a central staffing, so that's why we share teams over localizations. So we're not like silos that don't speak to each other. The teams from all other markets work very closely together. Which is good because, for example, like when you speak commercial lines, that's a lot of what happens in a lot of markets, and that's a lot of know-how we can use and apply different markets. Like, for example, we do it Sweden or Japan currently, and there's a lot of know-how from UK we can use elsewhere in commercial lines. And then in terms of numbers, maybe one more number which is interesting, very selective in terms of hiring. There's less than 2% of solars, of candidates that actually are hired at solars. So we are very, very, very selective. The team is focused, so that's why we don't have an army on our programs. Those are normally lean implementations. So that's why when I sometimes see how much sometimes costs various implementations do it, I can't really understand why many organizations doing that to themselves. So anyhow, so that's shortly about solars. And my name is Michal. I'm one of two co-founders of solars, and I have two very strong gentlemen that will be going into details, but I'm available also for questions afterwards. The gentleman on my left side is?
My name is Wojciech. I take care of our projects in the UK, especially London market, so this is specialized insurance.
And the gentleman on my right side?
I am Marcin. Hello, everyone. And I am responsible for Reinsurance Competence at Solars.
Right, and then I have just short questions to you, if you can help in a brief understanding what organizations you're from. Those professionals coming from reinsurance companies, you can raise your hands. Right, so we have some, very good, very good. Those who are coming from insurers. Also, okay, so that's even bigger group, wonderful. And all providers, systems, consultants, lawyers, Wonderful. So we have perfect. Okay. So I know around where we can refer, to what topics. Wonderful. Are you ready to start? English is fine. Nous sommes prêts pour français aussi. No? No. Okay. Let's go.
Thank you very much, Michal. May I? Building on what Michal said, we are helping our clients achieve their business goals through deep knowledge of technology and, what is equally important, through deep knowledge of reinsurance business. How exactly do we do that? We are using core systems, workbenches, pricing tools, data, automation, and AI to elevate reinsurance business, especially during renewal times, and increase efficiency of our clients. There are two sides to each reinsurance renewal: cedents and cessionaires, buyers of coverage, sellers, insurers and reinsurers, however you want to call them. Firstly, let's look at the tasks that face cedents. Data quality is a always open topic during renewals. Uncertainty loadings are built into pricing, and they are a big pain point every single time. So the question arises, how can we minimize impact of uncertainty loadings, or even how can we get rid of them in all? Well, answer is quite simple. We can increase the data quality, but it is simpler said than done. So what would need to happen from the cedent's perspective? Firstly, cedent would need to collect more data. Secondly, this data would need to be arranged and processed. And thirdly, there would need to be someone who would be able to assess and analyze those huge amounts of information. And this is where technology comes in. Let's look at preparing renewal packs. Collecting data for them is a very effort-consuming process. It involves people not only from reinsurance departments, but from areas across the whole company. After a renewal pack is mercifully compiled, it still requires analysis. And after it is released into the market, everyone is keeping their fingers crossed that one or the other reinsurer doesn't ask for updates, for example, from Q2 to Q3, because talks are extended into already November. And a whole new can of worms is open then. So what can be done? There is a whole array of solutions that can be used by cedents, all of them with their own characteristics and strengths, but in general we can group them into core systems, automation, and AI solutions. Firstly, we will say a couple words about core systems in Wojciech's own words.
Yes. Hello. Okay, so core systems. As I mentioned, I take care of our projects in London market, so this presentation is a little bit London biased, but I believe most of the concepts are applicable elsewhere as well. So core systems. I think most of you here coming from insurance and reinsurance world should be familiar with the concept, but let's set a common definition first. So what do we mean by core systems? I understand it as a set of applications, integrated applications, supporting primary processes of an insurance and reinsurance company. So these processes that are key to your operations and that based on which you make money. And in insurance world, I think for many years insurers have been focused on replacing their old legacy solutions, realizing how much benefit that brings. And from my perspective, after many talks with our customers, we observe this more and more in reinsurance world as well. So simple spreadsheets and unsophisticated databases access, for example, they are being more and more replaced with modern technological solutions that allows to innovate. And as you can see on this very simple graph, core system is a bedrock of any innovation that can be applied elsewhere. So with core systems in place and good data collection, quality data collection, you can integrate or even that data collection is supported by the integrations, smoothless flow of data between the systems. That allows process automation, simple as robotics, automation of very routine and repetitive tasks, but even more intelligent automation, such as process automation or usage of AI and workflows. Right. What are the main benefits of core systems? So I think I've touched already on a few of them. So definitely workflows that allow you to gather your data in consistent ways. In addition to that, you can save your costs on lower maintenance of the solutions. So I mean, firstly, lower spend on your IT teams as maintenance of modern solutions is way easier, but also development of new functionalities. You can reduce your time to market with new functionalities and reach your goals faster. But as well as modern solutions are more stable as well. So this reduces costs of downtime and any errors. Enhanced experience for the users. So user-friendly interfaces, very intuitive, that makes everyone's job just more pleasant and easier. Decision-making support, so business intelligence tools, enhanced reporting that allow you to observe trends and react quicker to changing market environment. And finally, regulatory support and compliance. So with modern core systems, you can generate your reports automatically. You can generate them error-free, reduce the risk of any regulatory fines. But it also means more security. With modern cloud solutions, there is less risks of cyber attacks and so on. Here, coming back to integrations that are crucial for increasing your data abilities. They remove the need for double keying and any errors with that. So here is an example of a sample architecture of one of the London market insurers, and as you can see, the core system for Reinsurance is fed with claims data and policy data. So these are normally really old legacy systems, but they are easily integrated with APIs and yeah, even on a database level. Moreover, there are documents flowing in and additional parameters from master data management. There is also external services relevant for Lloyd's. So these are market services providing various information relevant not only to this particular company, but other companies as well. And this data flows in. Data is exchanged with credit control systems to control your cash collections. And data is fed downstream to other departments, as Marcin said, BI reporting, finance actuary, and the general ledger. And finally, a landscape of available solutions. So at Solars, we work closely with some of them, for example, Duck Creek, but there are more of them on the market. each of them has their strengths and weaknesses. So some of them are focused more on outwards reinsurance only. Some of them cover the whole spectrum of inwards and outwards, and also financial processing. So yeah, the fit for purpose would very much depend on your exact needs, requirements, and so on. And as Solars, we always support that, not only from the perspective of technology, but we always start with the business needs, and through that we advise the best solutions. I would also like to mention here Accord, who to many people in reinsurance definitely is a familiar company, because for years they've been setting the standards in data for reinsurance. And in recent years, it's even more important to integrate many technological providers in this environment. And yeah, they are active here with their Adept tool that we also help to integrate as a licensed integrator partner. So this tool helps in data orchestration and smooth integration between various parties involved, for example, the placing platforms and the core systems, and yeah, any technology solutions that require integrations. Yes, so I think to summarize and to sum up, I would also like to highlight that as Solars, we support the implementation of these solutions, which is not an easy job. And as Michal mentioned, we don't tend to run overblown projects, monster projects. To us, this is all about good planning, good preparation, and effective execution, working as a single team with the customer to jointly achieve the goals. And we all pretty much always make it happen. Okay, handing over to Marcin for the next part.
Thank you, Wojciech. So, assuming that right now we have a core system in place with all necessary integration, we can look towards automation. If our main subject is renewals, then first thing that we are doing and we are recommending to our clients is automation of renewal pack preparation. Preparing triangles, crest accumulations, or risk profiles would take just a couple clicks in this scenario. And with this, we are minimizing, let's face it, quite high risk of human error with data preparation. And what is also important, we can update such presentations ad hoc as required, meaning during negotiations, if necessity arises, if reinsurer asks a question about an update, it can be provided, which has direct translation into previously mentioned uncertainty loadings level. Second thing that can be done with access to premiums and claims data, for example, is quick calculations of reinsurance structures based on experience. Meaning, reinsurance manager can play with possible scenarios, increasing, decreasing of retention, layering levels, session levels, etc. Such exercises can give him additional tools, additional arguments in necessary discussions with reinsurers. For more advanced analysis, we are turning towards AI. Analyzing huge amounts of data, like multi-factor analysis of trends spanning through the years, of risk profiles, or combined with geographical spread, and on top of that, for example, with prices of policies on the direct side, is not an easy task to perform for a single person. Therefore, AI analysis can help in finding such correlations quite effectively. And on top of that, AI can actually find correlations between data that are not easily seen, even to a trained eye of a professional reinsurance manager. So this can be done for, let's say, single line of business. For a broader view, AI can be employed by looking and tracking all the types of risks that are assumed on the direct side, and AI can match them against all existing reinsurance structures in place, assisting reinsurance manager in coverage gap analysis. I think that is also a quite useful tool to avoid very unpleasant surprises. What else can be done with AI? This is quite a simple tool, but I like simple tools when they are effective, and this one I think is AI assistance in preparation for meetings with given reinsurer, with access to emails, accounting data, or online resources like even reinsurers' own website, available news outlets, etc., LinkedIn. AI can summarize key points in discussions with reinsurers that we will soon have. For example, it can summarize reinsurers' profitability per line or in general on the whole cooperation. It can provide information on reinsurers' claim service. How long does it take to retrieve money from them? It can pinpoint key points in relationship, like biggest losses that impact their profitability, or changes in share levels during the years per each program, and how those impact cooperation with reinsurer. In general, reinsurance manager equipped in better quality data, assisted in analysis of this data, and with ability to put this data in a context of talks with a specific reinsurer, is much better equipped to do his or her job. And with this, reinsurance manager can focus on what is actually necessary during this time of the year, meaning negotiations themselves. But of course, reinsurance managers don't negotiate with themselves. Otherwise, this would be a very quick and easy process. There is a second part to this equation, meaning reinsurers, underwriters. So now let's look at how the process looks from their perspective. Most underwriters would confirm that the biggest issue with 1/1 renewals is that the end of the year comes way too early. I mean, there's a huge amount of offers to be analyzed in a very rigid time frame. This means that underwriters need to make some very tough choices about where to deploy their capacities. During post-renewals, it is very often heard that underwriter had to focus on renewing expiring business, or some data pack came too late to be properly analyzed. You hear such comments constantly. So it is natural. Underwriters don't have a lot of capacity to handle all the incoming business. And as I said, it is natural that in such circumstances, they tend to play it safe. They prefer to invest their time and effort into business that they already know. It is natural, but it is not necessarily optimal. So how can technology help reinsurers in this perspective? We do it through workbenches, AI, and specialized tools. Firstly, again, I will give the microphone to Wojciech, and he will talk about workbenches.
Right. So Workbenches. And again, I would like to start with defining what an underwriting workbench is. So this is a real buzzword recently on the market, and yeah, I just want to make sure that we are on the same page. So, underwriting workbench in a digital form is just like a real workbench for a craftsman. So it's a single place where an underwriter can find all the tools, data, and insights that are required by him to do his job properly. And here I would like to also bring up nice statistics from a recent study conducted by Hyperexponential that 80% of insurers and reinsurance are willing to invest into these solutions in the next 5 years. Underwriting Workbench support the end-to-end process from submission to bind, and they are able to support all the processes from new contracts through endorsements into renewals. They allow to set again automated workflows that guides an underwriter through the whole process, putting more standardization into the whole process. And also, they are really useful to managers to observe the trends, generate performance reports on their teams, and to avoid the risk of failure. Few more insights into benefits of workbenches. So, as I mentioned, probably the main benefit is a standardized workflow and coherence and consistency in data capture. So as you can see, imagine within the underwriting teams, everybody works differently. And without such tools, it is really difficult to kind of encourage different team members to gather the data properly and to ensure data quality. With these solutions, you can really set the workflows just as you require, and this also helps if one underwriter takes over from another to understand quickly what has been going on. Without that, it can take days to go through all the emails and poor quality documentation to verify that. It also means clear audit trails to summarize what has been going on throughout the whole process. Scalability, so increased ability to handle complex volumes of submissions. User experience, again, very intuitive interfaces. How important this is, some of you who are browsing through the conference applications trying to find out who's attending the conference, perhaps, yeah, you can understand how important good user experience is to make everyone's lives easier. Efficiency. So smooth integration between various systems, both internal and external, with the workbench that I will talk on the next slide. Yeah, it helps to reduce the time spent on double keying and repetitive tasks, and instead of that, focus on what's really important and adds value strategically for the organization. Collaboration, so various teamwork and communication tools. Yes, and again, good analytics, so reporting, business intelligence, and compliance, so reporting. Right, and this slide again talks about various integration points that are available. So those that we believe are most important, they are in the bit bigger size fonts. So compliance and know your customer tools, all the checks that reinsurers or insurance are doing on their business partners, they can be easily integrated. Broking platforms, so placements of new risks, they can smoothly flow into the workbench to allow good visibility of what's available, subsequently, these tools also offer smart triaging, so you can easily select what's worth spending time on and investing your effort. Pricing engines, very important. So tools like Hyper Exponential that I mentioned, they help to assess the risk and price it properly in really instantly. Underwriting, by that we mean legacy policy platforms. So that's also a very common pain point, that you have a lot of data in your organization that's hidden and that's not easily available. With workbenches and nice interfaces, you can integrate with them and really leverage that data into making important decisions. Landscape of available solutions. So we work closely at Solars with Send, Salesforce, and Appian from that list as partners. But again, probably nobody is perfect. They all have various strengths and weaknesses. So yeah, some of them are more specialized tools designed from the very first bits of that process into being a workbench. So, for example, Sense and Federato, these are tools that have been designed as underwriting workbenches. Rest could be low-code platforms, more universal, that you can more adapt to your exact needs and develop a bespoke solution. But yeah, as Solars, we help in both analysis and selection of the tools, and throughout the implementation process, making sure that it's delivered on time and with the business outcome.
Thank you, Wojciech. Wojciech hinted at offer triaging, and I would like to talk a bit more about it now. With assuming workbench in place, with all the workflows and access to data through integrations, we can now unleash the power of AI, to say in a marketing way. Typical incoming renewal pack consists of an email, Excel spreadsheet, and contract draft. With AI, we can triage this data that comes on the underwriter's desk, and AI, for example, can analyze the emails and the Excel renewal pack. It can check it against our risk appetite. It can check how assuming such portfolio would impact our current exposures or our retro coverage. It can do some quite quick calculations on the Excel information and put it against our underwriting guidelines. And with all those information combined, it can produce a score on the proposed portfolio. Second thing that AI can do is document suggestion and analysis. With this, contract wording analyzed by AI can be checked against our contract advisory or clauses database. And AI can flag elements inside the contract wording that are not acceptable to us, like evident red flags, or areas that require further deeper analysis by a human. And what is particularly interesting for new incoming business is assistance in compliance and know your client forms. AI with access to companies' databases, online resources, or solvency reports can really take a lot of work of underwriters' hands and support him in fulfilling all the internal compliance requirements. So no new business spills through underwriter's fingers just because simply he doesn't have enough time to prepare proper analysis, and the client would be not accepted by the company. Those elements of triaging, meaning grading of portfolio, checking of wording, and assistance in compliance procedures put together equip an underwriter to make better, more informed, and much quicker decisions on where to deploy his resources, which offers to focus on, in general resulting in a much more efficient renewal on his side. Apart from offer triaging, there is a plethora of specialized tools that underwriters, pricing actuaries, or CAT modelers can use to enhance their decision-making process. Some of them are already quite known and well established in the market, like, for example, CAT modeling solutions from RMS or AIR. Some of them are still slightly less known in the market, but still are very powerful tools, like rating and pricing engines from Hyper Exponential or AirNix, or a very robust portfolio analytics tools, again from RMS or Verisk for that matter. Those tools can enhance all the pricing and underwriting processes. As a result, they can increase efficiency during renewals, and they can increase accuracy of decision making during renewals as well, resulting in the end in a much more healthy portfolio in the long run. And I will pass to Wojciech.
Yes, we're just wrapping up. So what I would like you to take home from this presentation and remember. So for Sedent, the bedrock is the core system. Good quality data allows further innovation, so process automation with robotics, with workflows, and AI. For reinsurance, or reinsurers and underwriters, workbenches is the thing to start with. Subsequently, you can integrate them with more specialized solutions or utilize whatever is available out of the box. Yeah, that's the first step to integrate with pricing platforms, CAT modeling, smart triage, document ingestion, documents analysis. A lot can be done to improve efficiency. And at Solars, we are 100% focused on insurance and reinsurers. For 25 years, we've been doing that globally, from US through Europe to Japan. And yes, we are happy to assist you, just like we've assisted over 100 financial corporations around the world. Yeah, so feel free to speak to us either after this conference or later on during the cocktail. If you follow Michal on LinkedIn, you will notice that he flies a lot around the world, so he can be seen frequently on different occasions, on different conferences as well. Yes, and I'm most frequently in London or in Poland, Marcin as well. So we are very happy to connect.
And now we have a little bit of time. So if you have any observations you want to share, then you can go ahead. Yeah, so maybe.
I have a question.
Okay.
That is how I'm actually a main employee. I don't know much about the operational side of things, but how do you work with Blueprint 2?
Okay.
Right.
So the question is Blueprint 2 London market, right? Wojciech,
yes, I can take that.
A lot of programs he's running now.
So actually, yeah, I've been working with London market customers for the past 8 years, since the very first project at Solars. London market is a very complex world with very complex processes, and I believe any form of an attempt to innovate and automate, even though it's very difficult, it's worthwhile. And with Blueprint 2 is definitely a good and worthwhile idea. And how we support? We work closely with a few customers on the London market. I'm not fully sure if I can name them, but they are definitely on that slide. With analysis of their processes, making sure that we understand the impact and they understand the impact, that the processes in the new world after new systems are implemented, they are tested properly, and that their business operations are first of all not interrupted, and secondly they can take benefit out of the new data that Blueprint to provides. And if you are following what's happening with Blueprint 2, you know that these programs or this program have its struggles. So it's been postponed again, and nobody is actually certain when it will go live. But yeah, we are doing what we can, supporting customers. I think there is a lot of potential with the new systems for claims and policy. Definitely, data quality is the main goal, as London markets historically has been based on paper, and it still is. So any attempt to standardize the data intake and transmission of data between customers, it will definitely help.
Yes. By the way, you can have questions, you can have a statement, you can disagree, or you can agree.
My other question is, I did once a book, The Lime Street Guide to Lloyd's, and I looked into all the ways of identifying what risk one has. There were 1,000 plus, or going from whatever blue water to this and that. What I'm wondering is, by structuring data, whether you are losing the diversity of Lloyd's, what we offer.
I wouldn't be afraid of that. So as I hear from companies around the world, what they are looking for in Lloyd's is its brand and its confidence that it will stand for the promises. And I think this is what historically has been happening. If somebody is insured by a Lloyd's corporation, there is 100% certainty that this promise will be fulfilled. And I think insurers will keep the ability to diversify their offering and to be innovative. If we are talking about core systems, core platforms, or workbenches, with any implementation for any customer, I think there is a core part that can be standardized, that can be implemented out of the box, but there is always a bit that we adjust and we fit for purpose for a given customer to keep their uniqueness on the market, and that applies, I think, inside the market and also globally.
And he said, maybe. Frau Schorer is a journalist in Germany, so just you get one name about yourself.
Hi, William Pitt with Lexicon Associates. We're a consulting business focusing mainly on the MGA sector, actually, and it was apropos of that I wanted to ask a question as to whether you saw any sort of high-level differences in terms of the kind of quality of data that you get, that MGAs submit to reinsurers for their reinsurance programs relative to more traditional insurance companies. Do you see any significant differences in the MGA space from that point of view?
So to be frank, I'm not sure about MGAs, but I think I know what you're getting to, and I can explain two perspectives. So sometimes with traditional companies or large broking firms, for example, it is very difficult for insurance companies to impose anything and to make them submit their data in a particular way. They simply need to adjust to what the second party is offering. And yeah, on the other hand, whenever there is this power to influence, you would always suggest API integrations or some portals that allows to structure the data properly and collect it in a standardized way. But with this first case where you have no power, I think AI is a true deal breaker. So AI allows to understand the data in an unstructured form. So you can collect the data in emails, in PDFs, and internally kind of structure it. So I think that's the potential solution if you have no power to negotiate with the other side.
And maybe just let me add two sentences to that, and that would be another question. There are markets, like for example in Germany, where you have MGAs that launching the operations because older insurers have very, very old systems, and those MGAs are very, very lean. They normally launch much more modern solutions, and that's the only thing that they get. They just get the coverage from the insurer. So that's the only thing, and in that way, the data they provide is much stronger. But that very much depends on the history of those MGAs, because you have also MGAs, I know, in other markets that they work on spreadsheets a little bit. And that situation, so it's pretty hard to generalize. But I would say in Germany, several MGAs I know they're pretty robust in terms of the core systems and data. I think I see more MGAs in the United States as well. They're also pretty robust. So I would probably on general, like the French say, it's probably a little bit better quality of data. There's other questions over there. You can also share statements or your disagreement or agreement.
Firstly, thank you for very interesting subject. But now I ask my question in French. Ma question, donc, elle est simple, mais elle est détaillée. C'est pour ça que j'ai voulu utiliser la langue française. Je la maîtrise bien. Donc, j'ai bien écouté le côté renouvellement d'assurance, les souscriptions. J'ai bien écouté et vous avez focalisé votre intervention sur le côté en interne des renouvellements, ça veut dire côté donc collection des offres, des informations, avoir un bon data, une bonne analyse pour une bonne analyse des risques. Mais je pense que vous n'avez pas parlé sur le côté externe qui impacte, qui influe sur tout les renouvellements de risques. Ce côté marché. Vous avez donc, est-ce que vous n'avez pas, c'est exprès ou bien c'est un sujet qui ne concerne pas votre présentation? Parce que le côté marché, côté externe, ça influe à un autre, il a un impact, une influence directement ou indirectement, parce que tout simplement, toute souscription, tout renouvellement, ça concerne nos clients, nos partenaires. Donc, quel est votre sujet sur ce point? Merci.
I think that probably was more a statement. That's what you said. It's about how you connect the architectures in order to actually apply this data. That was more. And you also mentioned at the end that you don't only have internal data, but also have data from the market that you need for that. And so what we cover is so Wojciech was speaking about the core systems. So that's internally. I mean, organizations, they need to have the internal core information and the good quality. Then afterwards, you normally don't use those systems for data. You need to have something in architecture where you feed this data from the system, and where exactly which the example you gave, feed data from the market about your customers, and then once you enrich the data from the customers, then you can run your business intelligence, then you can run artificial intelligence programs. So this is a much more complex architecture, and this is happening more and more. For your information, we're running at the very moment a very interesting survey in 7 markets on artificial intelligence. So in Germany, there are 18 insurers participating. There are, in France, I think we have also many insurers participating. We do it also UK, United States, Canada, where we look at where artificial intelligence is being used. So actually, it's being used quite a lot also in getting the data and enriching this data as well. Very, very good use case is data ingestion. Data ingestion, it's a very difficult word, but there's a lot of data, different unstructured, coming to insurers, and to automate processing this data and inputting into the systems. And this is very good tools are actually free cloud providers, AWS, Azure, and Google are providing that. We have several programs with our customers on that. And this is actually incredible. If you're not a perfectionist, which is in the case of Japan or Germany, I love Germany, I live in Germany, but if you accept a certain level of error, this is an extremely good tool to automate your processes and get a lot of data and then process those data. So that data ingestion when you use the different artificial intelligence tools.
And I think if I understood the question properly, there is one other aspect to mention here about the agreement between different organizations. So I think the answer could be accords and the common data dictionary and data standards that are somehow imposed by governing body, for example. It's really, I mean, to me, the integration between the organizations for data exchange, it's not an issue. I mean, this can be done from a technical perspective, if only the proper security teams, they agree with each other that it's done properly. But the real challenge is to compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges. And in order to achieve that, you need to have some common knowledge, common language. And Accord is definitely supporting that.
And in Germany, GDV, so the Chamber of the German insurers, doing extremely good job as well. Any statements, any agreements?
Hi, my name's Nick Bugler. I'm from law firm Wilkie Farr and Gallagher, and I wanted to ask you a bit about something you mentioned that the AI analytics tools can do in terms of analysing proposed terms and conditions. Can it go further than that and access a whole database of terms and conditions and, as it were, help the underwriter to model what the effect might be if you change those? And appreciate this is always in the context of bargaining position, and someone might have a greater bargaining power than the other, but it could be a very useful tool to the underwriter. I'm thinking more on the reinsurance side, obviously, to say, well, if I tweak these sort of terms and conditions, this is the effect on the likely outcome of this contract.
Sorry. You want to take it, or shall I?
That's quite an interesting use of AI, yeah, I have to admit. Here we wanted to provide some, I don't want to say more feasible solutions, but the ones that are easier reachable today. But AI is making huge progress every year. I mean, last year or 1.5 years ago, we didn't think about ChatGPT and what it offers. So AI area is progressing quite quickly, and I believe that what you mentioned, this sort of modeling, if not yet achievable, it will be in a short future.
Yes, and I can confirm as well that the legal perspective is being attracted by the insurtechs, for example. Yeah, we've talked to at least 2 companies that are focusing purely on the legal area and assessment of legal terms at the underwriting stage. So I think more and more solutions like that will be appearing. Maybe yeah, we can also discuss after what have you tried or what have you seen so far.
Any observations, other markets? Anyone wants to share anything? Any questions? Right. So one more. Ja, klar. Selbstverständlich.
How big is the workbench? How many data can it have, and is it scalable?
Okay, I think it's a very, very good question. There's maybe one thing before Wojciech takes this. And Wojciech said it's very difficult to define a workbench. And when you take 10 underwriters in the room and you ask them questions, what's underwriting workbench, you will get 10 different definitions. And that's a little bit of a problem. And when you talk about underwriting workbench in the UK, and when you talk in Germany, you take totally different definition. So this is a little bit of an issue. So maybe I'll start with how we would recommend to think about underwriting workbench, and then I pass to Wojciech about the amount of data. So for us, and we think that future architecture is that all core functionalities are in the system around, like core systems. Product should be in a core system, and there should be web services online. Underwriting workbench is just presentation layer and processes allowing underwriters to work with one tool. That's what Wojciech said. When you go to Germany, for example, this is a core system for commercial lines, which is also used by underwriters. So that's a little bit different definition, right? So that's very, very heavy system to very front-end system. That's what more in the UK. But about data?
Yes, so depending, because you asked how big it is. So I can answer from 2 perspectives because I'm not sure from which you were asking. So if you are asking how it can be deployed within the organization, so normally we approach these projects from products perspective. So we start implementation for one product that is probably core and most important for the organization that can later serve as a baseline for implementation across the other products and teams within the company. So ultimately, I believe everybody in the organization should use it. But in terms of functionalities and the scope of functionalities it can serve, I think yeah, Michal touched on that. So from our perspective, probably we will always recommend that it is as little complicated as possible. So it should be a front end connected into specialized systems like rating, pricing, into core systems and so on, that each of them has their role within the overall architecture of the company, and Workbench is just collecting all these data and functionalities into a single place for the ease of use. And yeah, I can just remind this slide. So possibilities are pretty much unlimited, and with the whole complexity of the architecture of an insurance or reinsurance company, it just depends what tools you are using and how easily they can be integrated with the Workbench. And this is frequently a challenge, that this integration is costly, or, for example, the company believes that a core system should be replaced in the near future because it's old and they want to invest in it. And in that case, it's really important to create a forward-looking strategy so that this integration can be easily detached when the second system is replaced. And we also advise how to do it properly.
Sorry, I meant actually more how many data can it hold? There must be a limit, an upper limit.
I don't know.
So at the end of the day, when you issue policy should be issued by the core system. So that shouldn't be an underwriting workbench. Underwriting workbench actually collecting all data in the process to the moment where you issue policy. That's perspective on, I'm now giving perspective on insurer. But our documents should be kept in the document management system, so you just have links to those documents. So you have more data than a core system, so that's quite a lot of data. But at the end of the day, the master of policy is not in underwriting workbench, is in the core system. That should be the case. In the Reinsurance, this is also a lot of data that you are, the whole input data. This is, and then the links to the documents. But the actual contract should also be issued in the Reinsurance core system. So that's probably similar architecture.
Yes. So definitely the data is stored elsewhere. So a workbench normally does not store any data. It's just integrated and allows access to that data.
Right, but it's all links there. So that's source of information on the whole process, right? So that when you look for historically where you had certain data, this is the way where you look for, but you find it in different systems. Guys, I think we have time over. Thank you very much for coming over, and we're here till Wednesday. So should you have any questions, would like to talk to us, it would be a pleasure for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.